Thank you very much. I apologize if we kept you waiting too long. I certainly am appreciative of your invitation to appear before you here today to talk about black child development under white supremacy. A very, very important topic indeed, because it is the root of many of the issues and problems that we discuss so often in these types of forums. I, of course, think it is very important that when we talk about the black child, that we have some idea of who or what the black child is. Because too often we hear people saying, I happen to be black. You know, as if black is something that fell on us, unfortunately, some misfortune, you know. And also there's the implication often in that kind of phrase that except for our blackness, we are just like everybody else. So consequently, we are colored people, you know. We've just been colored over, but in a sense, we are white people who just happen to be black. It's much deeper than that, ladies and gentlemen. The black child is unique. It is not a duplicate of the white child. It's not a colored rendition of white children. It's very important that you know that, because if you start off with that premise, no matter how good your intentions, you're going to do a disservice to your children. If you're going to do the right things about your children, you must know them, which means that you must study their history and their psychology. You cannot study the history of Europeans and the psychology of the European child and apply that psychology directly to black children.
Empires, many of which remain unknown through the annals of time, have all needed fearless, strong men to do their bidding, ready to show courage, ready to die. Today, however, building an empire is more likely to attract nerds and geeks, number crunchers, and book readers. We start our journey here at the home of Windrush Square, Brixton. Across the black world, Brixton is known as a center of cultural expression for African descendants. From all across the diaspora, we come here. We draw and give energy, bring life to words, strengthen our resolve, and gain new insights. Brixton offers communal courage. Solomon, along with his uncle Mikey, seen here on the right, can be found in the West End of London, or Brixton, between Brixton Market and the tube station, trading in an analog medium in the digital age. Books. Black nerds fighting a war of disinformation. Solomon runs Black Child Promotions, selling hard-to-find books written by black authors. Black Child Promotions is all about empowerment, black empowerment.
Yeah, that's it. And then we post our locations where we're going to be in.
Would you go to different locations?
Yeah. Oxford, when Oxford opens back up, we'll be down there.
Oxford Street.
Oxford Street.
What's happening to our children in public schools. Now, most of the time when I come over here, that's what I talk to you about, because that's really where my life is centered. But it occurred to me that Alton's been in this struggle, and I'm very concerned about how we're progressing in it. So I thought a lot about it, sisters and brothers, and titled what I want to share with you tonight called Black People Still Don't Get It.
The role of education in dominant systems is to produce people who further serve the system and to pivot away from self-empowerment. Job market education is intentionally divorced from liberation. This is what drives black child promotions.
There's no love in being controlled. Look at this one here as well. This is a brother called Yisrael Emmanuel, yeah? And it's called the King's Peace Treaty. He's a local brother that come from Tottenham, and he basically did this. I will never put no European geographical landmark before my brother. When anyone comes as a stranger from a neighboring area, I will embrace him and treat him like a king. I will not go in any man's area and promote violence in protest to promote my area. When I see a black man on the street, I will hail and acknowledge him in respect of the suffering, in respect of the suffering we and our ancestors have faced for centuries. I will look at no black man as less than a king. I will look at no black woman as less than a queen, because the black woman is the mother of all civilization and we must protect her. I will link up with every man from every ends to build my people and to build a better earth for our future generations.
Salute!
Salute! King's Peace Treaty.
Tell you, man, powerful.
Yeah. That's why we call black child promotions. Because, you know, Frederick Douglass once said it's easier to raise strong children than to repair broken men. But if you go look at Tottenham now, a lot of the like Idle and Vital with King Ramesses that used to be down the road is gone. Fitzroy's body music, you know, is gone. You see other people move in. So all of our landmarks, people used to come from north, south, east and west just to go to body music. You know, my pops, rest in peace, Wani Strike Ali, like he used to come, that's where I used to meet him. When he was in town, the meeting spot was body music. I knew if I wanted to see him, I knew I'd have to go to body music and ask Fitzroy, say, yo, like, is my pops in town or whatever, like, and find out. That's the way I used to find out. All of these things, these beacons of the community have now gone. So, you know, if we allow this to continue, like, you know, and we don't have an economic program. But even if you want to look at Elijah Muhammad's Nation of Islam, there's an elder that called Melchizedek Shabazz, and he talks about how it was a part of their thing to have an economic program, because we need to deal with ownership. Instead of begging at someone else's table or complaining that these people are treating us wrong, or these people are treating, you're still going to them. So if you're going to the same people, then, you know, who's mistreating you and expecting them to treat you different, the same people that's, you know, oppressed you, raped the women, killed the children, tossed children into the burning fire, and a global oppression. Just because it's not America, we've had our thing over here. Even celebrities like, rest in peace, Smiley Culture, you know, and all of these things, and no police is being, you know, put into, you know, rest in peace, Mark Duggan.
They always,
you know,
it's always justified.
Yeah, it's always justified. The most intelligent thing is to do is develop an economic program.
So why you sell books?
sell it for the upliftment of the community and upliftment of myself. Like there's a term that says this receive and impart information. So you receive education and you also give out education based on an each one teach one principle. So, you know, it's just upliftment. With so much negative propaganda against the black, you know, community, where they stereotype our children in different ways, the women different from the men. It's, you know, drains out your self-love. Just like a flannel with the self-love get wring out. One time in Brixton we had a book that depicted the original faces of the ancient people of Kemet, and a child come with her mother and wanted the book, and when we said alright, this is how much the book is, the mom said alright, listen, come on, let's go, we'll get it next time. By the time she was going and getting on the train, the youth said, Mom, how am I ever gonna know about the history of my people if you keep dragging me away from the books? So she said that brought a tear to her eye. So a few minutes later, like maybe 10 minutes later, when that had happened, she came out the station, came back to the bookstore, said, you still have that book? So we're trying to, you know, bring back the self-love, you know, knowledge yourself.
So why not be a musician?
You know why?
Rather than
no disrespect, but we're saturated in that department, you know. Black people dominate music, and you know they always want to sometimes categorize us as musician, sports personality, and them things there. So we need to associate black man with scholarship and scholarly, you know, attributes that are naturally part of our characteristic. In all the inner city communities, whether it's Tottenham, whether it's Brixton, whether it's Church Road Market, north, south, east, west, whether it's Peckham, you always got people that don't have formal education, never been to university, but they have more knowledge than any of those lecturers that I've experienced. I've been in the education, so I know that, you know, they don't have the power to discern truth from falsehood because it's scripted based on the Eurocentric type of perspective. So yeah, man, this is gonna be the link up. It's the Leicester City. The Rasta say he's got links in Leicester.
So travelling this year.
Travelling, so we're gonna try and bring the thing on the road, you know. You know, yeah, man. Continue to think. How many years is this year? 18 years.
18 years.
Yeah.
What about the estates? You still trying to do that?
Why that can But Elder Kush is telling me, say, you know, it has to be reciprocal. So it can't be, if you give them money for free, people aren't going to learn nothing from it. So there has to be some kind of incentive, either an incentive or, you know, make them know the value of the book. So if we just go and give it away free, that's like, yeah. And we just don't want to just film us for promotion, giving them free. That's our substance to it. So, no, we're trying to reevaluate that. You know, so.
Love that, man.
Yeah, man. You don't remember one of the first places before we set up was Crouch End?
Crouch End, and then we ran on the bus all the way to Walthamstow.
Yeah. A few educational DVDs on the table. You know? Yeah, man.
You might have forgot that one.
Well, they don't have DVD no more, so it's cool. That's getting phased out now, so.
Enough.
You know? Yeah, man, a long journey, you know. Long journey.
I've said this before at a meeting in Washington. Someone came up to me, and it was a German. It's a meeting on Zionism, and he said sheepishly, almost apologetically, other ethnic groups in the United States has pulled themselves up by their own bootstraps. Why haven't your people done the same? And I said, because someone stole our boots.
If you want to hide something from black people, put it in a book.
The Victoria Line, one of London's major transport construction projects, was opened on March 1969, named after Queen Victoria of Britain's royal family. Running between Brixton in South London and Walthamstow Central in the northeast of the city with 2 stops in Tottenham, Seven Sisters and Tottenham Hale. Brixton and Tottenham are, to the black community, 2 eyes, 2 hands, or 2 feet. A demographic reflection, a social mirror. To get to Brixton, Solomon and Mikey ride the blue artery that joins Tottenham to Brixton, carrying the books by hand. Solomon is always willing to help out a sister. And not for the first time on this trip they have to tackle stairs. Then it's on the tube for a 12-stop straight run through to Brixton. Once at Brixton, the heavy lifting is eased slightly with access to a lift, but they still have to set up. And then the fun begins.
Journalists all over disrespect His Majesty. The influence they carry, massive follow them. Call His Majesty Selassie. It's Selassie. Mean power of the Trinity.
Solomon's and Mikey's presence isn't just about the books they sell, but also about the conversations they have with customers and passers-by. They are valued here.
Uncle Mike, put this in your Afro. Very good insight. Most of the African liberation stuff involved should just go back to John Walker and all of them.
So even these two look to live.
Huh?
Even these two look to live.
No, these were contemporary. No. Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, you could say, were contemporary.
Who came before that?
He came before.
I said they look to live.
Yeah, I know how.
We need our love back, boss. We need our freedom, yeah? Jesus sweat. No, Solomon was a black man and you don't know he was, yeah? So let's stop talking about this nasty. His dad might have been a white ginger man, but Solomon was deep black. So get it, yeah? Just like Moses, yeah? I'm sick and tired of this history books fucking us up. And we're allowing it to happen. I don't want no fucking repatriation, I want the whole fucking thing back. Jesus loves you, yeah? About America, that thing's too mashed up. Completely. You're right. That's worse than the fucking Vatican. I agree. God bless you. Jesus loves you. You've been up a pyramid, yeah? Yeah. I'm a UFO, my dudes don't be cool, yeah? That's all. God bless my water about River Nile. Freestyle. Universe. Not in the world, we want the universe. Bless you, oh, yeah? We want the world. We don't want about money, Bujo Bantan. That's why. God bless there's a lot of truth to what he's saying. Truth doesn't have to have a personality or an articulation. Truth is just truth.
Some truth you have to study. What's your views on that?
Say that again?
Some truth you have to study, because the way you're saying, like, some of it, as you said.
Yeah, but what it is, you know what it is, yeah? Is that in this level of onslaught that we suffer as a people, it puts a mental strain on the people, innit? So a lot of people have different ways of articulating themselves. So if you're not speaking the Queen's English and you might sound like you're confused, it doesn't mean that you're not talking truth. So you have to read between the lines sometime and see the message instead of the person that's giving you the message.
Yeah.
So what am I watching the person for? Just watch the words that come out of their mouth. Don't watch their physical appearance. Don't watch their mental condition. Well, you can watch the mental condition, but I'm saying listen to a person, innit? At least give a person a chance before you judge them, innit? Because black people especially become apathetic towards the suffering of their own people. We don't have no compassion to ourselves, but we want to give others all the compassion. You understand? No, I'd rather give my brother and hear him let him have his 5 minutes, because maybe getting that off of his chest will make him feel better for the rest of the day.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Truth or not?
Yeah, true, yeah.
You know, that's the way I see it still, you know. Give him his, no one, probably he's walked up and down there all day, no one ain't listening to him. He feels better now because he's got something off his chest. Yeah. I say I agree with some of the points. I agree. Yeah. You know, if some people can agree with Boris Johnson and all that, why can't I agree with my brother that's on the road going through what he's going through?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Huh? Two aspects. One, living it. You know, a lot of the elders have lived it, and through their struggle, you know, they can tell you about the New Crossfire. They can tell you about when Teddy Boys used to run them down and the mods and them. You know, it wasn't always this multicultural, utopia, so-called utopia that we live in. You know, the time where, you know, when the Caribbean man them come off the Windrush, and them thing there, white man want to run them down and beat them and kill them and all sorts of different treacherous behaviour that afflicted our people. But they managed to fight back and overcome, because, you know, say places like Jamaica are known to be, you know, known as the rebellious slave, the rebellious island. You can't really take too much liberties with them, and, you know, the Caribbean in general, that them time the Caribbean was very closely linked. You know, if you watch old films like
Babylon, network.
Yeah, if you watch films like Babylon and other ones, Black Joy or something like that, you know, it shows you that the Caribbean community was very tight knit. And, you know, a lot of the grandparents ended up owning their houses and things because they used to work hard. You know, it's kind of funny to me, because, not to get off the point, but if you see how a lot of the other people that they call immigrants that aren't formally a part of the Commonwealth or whatever, that come to this country, and you see in terms of hygiene and basic things like that, it's like Caribbean people instilled hygiene in this place.
For real.
You know, just like the Moors and thing, you know. Look at Mary Seacole and people like that. They taught how to nurse it. Very skilled people come to this country and built up the NHS, built up the London Under. And these people, sometimes, you know, with the no dogs and no blacks and no Irish thing, you know, they it wasn't easy for them as it's easy for people now coming in. They couldn't really claim no benefit on them thing there or whatever. So they still managed to own their houses. They still managed to have that network and that community. So if we've got all of this now, you know, and are in this position, we should now utilize the resources that are around us and move on from that now, and you know, with all of the,
use it as a springboard.
Use it as a springboard for some greatness, you know, like we got not just a melting pot of different races here, we've got a melting pot of different people within the diaspora and within Africa that should link up. You know, the Nigerians should be linking up with the Jamaicans, and the Jamaicans should be linking up with the Ghanaians, and the Ghanaians, like Trinidad, that we've got so many different types of African descendant, and we haven't even have unity within amongst ourselves, let alone to integrate within the system, you know. Because if you check it now, the Italian and the German may have their differences, but if it comes where they can benefit and build something, you know, and you know, have others out, you know, that aren't closely linked racially like that, they're gonna agree, just like the Berlin Conference. They're gonna all of the Europeans are gonna agree how they can divide up Africa and how they can divide up, you know, and that's a key thing because.
So let me ask you, what role do you think black people have in allowing them to come together? Because it seems like when them can all reach some common goal in regards us, then them stop fighting. But when them can't reach no agreement, them fight them one another. Because Europe was a place that was full of wars. So.
The Nords, the Vandals, like vandalism comes from the Vandals, and you know. So
the fact that we can be in between as some kind of pawn help. I think it helped them to come together. It's not just the case that they can come together. It's the fact that they have a common goal, which is to control.
Bro, Elder Shaka, like a revolutionary, you know, elder that's been in the struggle for many years. He said that he believes that if you're trying to get black people to be like a one Disneyland utopia and just unite with each other, it's not going to happen. It's never going to happen. But if we can unite under a common issue, just one issue, you know, if we are in agreement with, like, for example, if you take police brutality, when the police come to shoot down a black man, they're not going to say Africa, this, that, this. They're going to say IC3. And even I'll go further to say, even if they have someone that's African of mixed heritage, they're just going to see him as the same. We only see those differences. They don't see those. You're all the same to them. So we need to pick an issue that we can all find common ground on and move forward that way. You know. So that's the point. If we're not going to agree on every point, you know, we're not going to agree on every, you know, aspect of the thing. But if we can unite over a common issue, then you'll see. So
you see this mindset now. What you are talking about, what people have, is selling the books. The small axe to chop the big tree, then is that why you're selling?
And write sketches that not only make you laugh, but make you know that at the same time when you laugh and say, that's true, you know. But black people are not supposed to have our own politics. Brothers and sisters, we have to march today. Because the enemy wants to make us into a puppet show.
What it is, a brother called Leo Muhammad said this. He said, when he used to speak, and in one of his speeches, he said that the system is easy to crumble because it's built on lies. It's built on lies. So anything that's built on lies is a weak foundation. So for me, the books is a start, because even, like, for example, you know, after doing this for so long, you can have a child and it's no fault of their own. The child goes to school, learns about King Henry VIII, learns about all of these people, you know, all the history from it. They tell you that World War II started in 1939 and exiled Ethiopia, where if it wasn't for Ethiopia, none of that would have happened. And that was the start of the contemporary independence movement, based on the invasion of Ethiopia. But they tell you about when Hitler invaded Poland in 1939.
Yeah, because it can only be a world war when their life is at risk.
Exactly. So, you know, they don't teach the youth them the truth. And scholars like yourself...
But they wouldn't. They wouldn't. For the system to perpetuate itself.
Exactly. But the point is, with the books... And with scholars like yourself, with elders who have knowledge, who've read, you know, that's one good thing about the community. A lot of real elders know these books. They were reading these books before I was born.
Yeah, man.
So when they see me, it's like they're happy for the continuation.
Yeah, man.
Even though they might have had, most of the elders be like, I had this book 30 years ago, but I need to get it back.
Yeah, man.
So they've read the book already, but they just want another copy. So we're dealing with like elders that in a community that are very educated and know what's going on.
There's a knowledge base
for me, if you put any of these elders in front of any of these Eurocentric scholars, even before we go to Asher Kwesi and Dr. Ben and all these people, just a normal man for the educated man for the community, they couldn't be able to tackle him. Because if you're still depicting the people of ancient Egypt or ancient Kemet as white, that's like any elder that's read Sheikh Anta remember, they were trying to
discredit him, man.
Not even, they couldn't discredit him, so they tried to hide him. When they couldn't discredit him, That's why his works has prevailed.
Yeah, man.
Even in France, even Europeans study his work. So
he's the father of it all,
man. The truth cannot be
denied in the long run.
So what they'll do, if the truth can't be denied, then they'll just hide the truth. Or they'll make it harder, or they make it more expensive to get
suppress it, you know.
So I've seen Dr. Ben up against rabbis, and for me personally, anybody who has knowledge of self to a degree, because no one can know everything, but those elders are these Eurocentric scholars, or it's no challenge.
He's half African.
Obama is.
He's half African. Everybody's half white. That's why people say they're biracial. That means that they can prove one of their parents is white. Every black person in America is biracial. That's why I like DNA. DNA doesn't lie. And the white man that invented DNA, trust me, he's dead. They found him by the railroad tracks. Because DNA was supposed to put black people in jail, and what it did was free them. That's God's work.
Okay. We're getting pretty close. I mean, let's.
Okay, ask me something else. I'm enjoying this. This is crazy. Yeah, go ahead. You have to want nothing. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I mean, I think a lot of people are going to be looking at this in rebuttal to the previous clip. I mean, a lot of things have changed and some haven't in the last 3 years.
Yeah, well.
We've gotten a president elected that's African, half African. And Michael Jackson passed.
Yeah, Michael passed. Yeah, the world lost a genius. And Michael Jackson was not a pedophile. You can forget that. Now, he was definitely X-Files, but he's not a pedophile.
So, I don't know. So if the definition of racism is holding power over someone else, is that how you define it?
It's not how I define it. It's what is. Look at America's history. America, if you believe in coded, America says race. America is race. America's founded on racism. I didn't found America. I had nothing to do with America. It is what it is. I didn't create it.
So there's an interesting point that Richard Pryor makes about when you first became friends. He said that he envied you in a way.
What?
In the book, you say that he felt envious of you in a way because you had no fear.
Well, no, I've never had it. I've never had it. Since I was 7. I don't have it. It's innate. That's God in me. I have nothing to do with it. People are stunned by things that come out of my mouth. I'm shocked. It comes from somewhere else.
You're an open vessel?
Yeah, it's just, no, it's just, I'm surprised that things are coming out of my mouth. I'm shocked. People are shocked, but I'm shocked too. But I like it.
How do you get away with it?
Easy. I told you I was free, white, and 21.
They say to grow mushrooms, you keep them in the dark and feed them trash. Influential comedian Paul Mooney, like this man in Brixton, was willing to say the things that agitated at the comfortable surface of everyday life. Life that is curated by powers with histories full of injustice and oppression. Solomon, too, is one of those that has las bolas, the balls, to compassionately speak truth to power. Solomon is brave, book brave. I'll see you in part 2 as we continue to journey with Solomon.
If you want to hide something from black people, put it in a book.
Where this can stop, not this irregular. Ballet can't stop there. No way this can stop, for the truth is not irregular. Ballet can't stop there. No way this can stop, not this irregular. Ballet can't stop there. No way this can stop, for the truth is not irregular. Ballet can't stop there. La 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 la. La la la. Oh, oh come things free when they want it. Look like them don't know can't fear game must play twice. Mother Earth, she recorded. And in the mystic, you hear your voice. No way this can stop, not this irregular. No way this can stop for the children of the regular. No way this can stop, not this irregular. No way this can stop for the children of the regular.